Honorable High Court of Gujarat and Ahmedabad. He handles a wide range of legal matters and is known for his work across various courts and tribunals in the state. Mr. Guthraj holds degrees in law and commerce from Gujarat University and has also completed the intermediate level of chartered accountancy. He is an empaneled attorney with several prominent institutions, including the American Citizenship Services Department of the US, the Consulate General of Switzerland, the Ghana High Commission, and the British High Commission, Delhi. He has previously served as an investigator and representative for the Consulate General of the Federal Republic of Germany in Mumbai, where he handled legal matters and investigations across Gujarat and Maharashtra. Along with this, Mr. Guthraj is also involved in legal education and pro bono work, regularly judging moot competitions and offering legal aid to those in need. Guthraj sir will tell us about the Collective Counsel now.
A very good evening to one and all present here. I'm very happy to see that the number is increasing with the Collective Council, and a lot of people are joining Collective Council as an organization, as in members. So just to give a brief intro about Collective Council. So Collective Council is basically an organization which has been formed, which is operating with an only motive to support and empower first generation lawyers. And how we intend to do this is by mentoring them, by providing networking opportunities, by providing them opportunities related to jobs, related to internships, putting them into workshops, organizing seminars, that give them the first hand practical experience as to how the industry operates. So that is what uh, we tend to achieve through Collective Council. Uh, the purpose with which we as an organization or a council are collectively working to build a supportive ecosystem for first generation lawyers. Uh, I'm also myself a first generation lawyer. I've not come across any single organization, not a bar, with due respect, at our respective city or state, have been focused or working predominantly for first generation lawyers. So I think this is the unique thing, a unique organization that is focused more on first generation lawyers, and are doing things in and around first generation lawyers to support them, mentor them, and to upscale them in the profession. Now, we as Collective Council have 5 different departments through which we operate. So one is the education and academics department, which helps first generation lawyers by educating them with respect to the changing world and the laws, and to keep them updated with the laws. So that is the first department. Membership and outreach department is the heart and soul of this department, wherein we reach out to organizations, to colleges, to universities, to increase the membership base, to conduct events, and we coordinate in and along with other departments. There is legal aid project department, which predominantly work for service, pro bono service and justice, and conducts camps, initiatives. There are helplines for first generation lawyer, as well as intended clients to reach out to us and discuss that what if I am into a situation, I'm facing a legal issue, how to do that. We have a very strong research and publication department, which not only does research and publication for the department internally, but creates very interesting articles, blogs, compile uh, compile the materials for our seminars, for our courses, so that we can have an effective and uh, efficient data bank for our first generation lawyers. There is opportunities and exposure department which is continuously working for the benefit of our members, so that you know our members are briefed with the latest opportunities and the latest events that are taking place in and around India. So I think that is a brief introduction about Collective Counsel as a whole. Not taking much of the time, I would request one and all present here that if you are a member, I am very much happy to come across you. But if you are not a member, kindly reach out to the organizer or the moderator of the session, and he or she will help you with the link to the registration. And please be a member. Please put a word for us in your universities, in your colleges, that we as a council, we are there and we are doing our part to giving back to society. So therefore, do give us some push. And soon, we are coming up with a campus ambassador program as well, to reach Collective Counsel to each and every college and university. And therefore, yeah. So I think this was a bit about Collective Counsel. I am all available anytime if you want to reach out to me. If you think that there is a group of people who intend to join Collective Counsel, there are college department heads, or there are college trustees, or anybody in your college who wants to bring Collective Counsel to their college or university. I mean, I'm very happy and open to have a call or a discussion with them. So this was all about Collective Counsel. And yes, I know wish you all the very best for the today's session. I am sure you will have a very informative session, and you will have the best of it, which the Collective Counsel has to offer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcome to of the participants and for your constant support to the CC. And uh, our speaker for the session will be joining in just 2 to 3 minutes. So till then, we can have a quick chit chat. So I want to know how many of you are here, like you are law students or advocates. Can I see the faces of law students first? Or you can raise your hands as well. It's up to you, whatever it's convenient for you. Great, that's great. Okay, so we have many law students. Okay, so we have 20 more than 22 law students here. So I assume rest of them are advocates or research scholars, right? So okay, how many of you have published any article, any research paper, anything else earlier? Can I see those hands or faces? Okay, so we have 9 people. That's great. Okay, so can I see the hands of advocates as well, so that we can have a count, like a ratio bit of students and advocates? Okay, so we have many advocates as well. That's great. So, do you have any question or any query regarding the collective council, or any feedback? If you are already a member of the collective council, you are free to comment anything related to collective council, or any if you want to ask anything about it, please feel free to do so. Please raise your hand. I'll unmute your mic. Okay. Miss Pooja, do you have some question? No worries. So we have a question in the chat box itself. Published victimology article in Law Juris, ma'am. Okay, that's really great. That's really great. So do you want to share something about it, Anthony sir? Do you want to share how you approached Law Juris and how you got it published? Anything, since our session is all about publications. So do you want to share anything? Yes, please feel free to unmute yourself and speak. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If you can type in the chat box, then that would also work. So, Priyadarshi sir is asking, do you all have access to SCC online volumes? Okay, so I guess we have Shreeyanshu sir. A very good evening, sir.
Good evening, Atansha. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Um, Maybe Shefali can lead. I pass over the
Yes,
mic.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
We are delighted to welcome Advocate Shreeyanshu Tripathi, the founder of Legal Specs, a platform that has empowered thousands of law students and professionals through education, research tools, and personalized career guidance. With an impressive record of over 1 million impressions, 14 plus authored books, and leadership experience in building a digital education venture from the ground up, Mr. Tripathi brings a rare blend of legal expertise, financial insight, and entrepreneurial spirit. Currently pursuing his PGDM in finance at LBSIM, he is deeply invested in exploring the intersection of law, finance, and strategy. His journey reflects a strong commitment to bridging complex domains with clarity and innovation. Today, he joins us to share his unique perspective, drawing from his experience as a legal professional, educator, and entrepreneur, and inspiring us to think beyond traditional boundaries. Over to you, sir, to start the session.
Okay. Thank you, Shefali. I hope I am audible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. It would be really great if some of you guys can turn on your cameras and we can have an interactive double-sided session. I can see a lot of people on the screen, but without the cameras. Would it be possible? Have the attendees been given the permission? Okay. Thank you, Satish. Okay, not just the team members, the normal people, normal attendees can also turn it on. Right. So we'll start with first things first, right? That where am I coming from? Why do I think that I might be a apt person to talk about why this topic, law and the art of publishing purpose, platform and process matters? And then I would be dealing with the purpose of legal publishing, the types of legal publishing, platforms that are considered authentic, considered reputed in the field of law, and then what is the process and how you can achieve that, right? So, starting with a small introduction about me, although I have been very aptly described. So, my name is Shreeyanshu. I am a lawyer by profession. I practice litigation. Apart from that, I have also been associated with Rajaram Roy National Agency for Book Publication, Department of Higher Education. Till the date, I have written 14 books, and two other separate books on the field of law are inside pipeline that would be published soon and would be available in the market for purchases. So, why this topic matters for law students, lawyers, and researchers? So, understand this: you as a law student, right? You guys are comfortable in both bilingual language, Hindi, English, or should I stick just to English? Okay, thank you, Akshara. Okay, Satish, I'll try to stick majorly to English. Then there would be some sarcastic comments that would just be in Hindi. Okay. So I'll start this session. Okay. So understand this: you are a law student and you are reading, you let's say litigation scriptures, or you are reading regulations that have been existent for a long period of time, right? So these things have been aptly researched, and now you as a law student are reading it and you are trying to make sense of something. For example, let's say IPC, not the new one, the old one. It was written in 1860, right? So now you are trying to make sense of something that has been penned down, like let's say 160 years ago. Now this is what is the importance when it comes to understanding scriptures. Okay, now let's understand this by I'll just connect a companion device if the team may allow. Just give me a minute. Okay.
It will be really great if we all can switch on our cameras, because the session is going to be really interactive, and if we can see all the faces, it can be a little contribution towards it. So if you feel comfortable, then please do. Otherwise, please be active in the chat box as well. Please feel free to ask your queries, anything related to the collective counsel, related to the public discussion, related to any legal question or related to publications, anything. So, if I can see the faces on the screen right now, that will be really good.
Okay. No worries. I am facing some network issues connecting that, but nevertheless, we'll start. Okay. So when I first started publishing as an author, I'll start with a very personal anecdote on this point, right? So I did not know where to begin, and this is a same story that every law student faces, every researcher, and every person who aspires to write. So may not have been mentioned, but I have also written columns for Times of India and for the Daily Guardian as well. So earlier I used to write columns, right? So the columns are basically a specific section they used to give me on page 11 of the newspaper, where I used to write, and then it was published, like it was on a day-to-day basis, and for Daily Guardian it was on a weekly basis, right? So when I started, obviously I faced rejections, there were formatting issues, and there was even conceptual clarity was missing. So what happened was, when I started penning down any topic, right, there is a plethora of things that I can reach out to. There are a lot of things that can be included in the main script itself, right? But over the time, I realized that publishing is just not getting your name printed, and it is about contributing to the conversations that matter. For example, the recent outrage that has occurred by the judgment over stray dogs, right? How many of you are in, like, in pro for the motion and against the motion? In pro can just raise their hands. Nobody. Okay, one.
Well, for
Okay,
me, I'm
don't.
like against.
Okay, understood, Piyush. So understand this, that obviously now you are living through this legal dilemma or this legal crackpot that has been happening. So understand this key. For example, I am a writer. I am an avid writer and you are an avid reader. So what all points should I include in my manuscript that would interest you as a reader, right? So I'm trying to tell you the context first, and then moreover we'll start by getting into the formalities and the technicalities, right? So that is where you can ask some basic questions like who are you writing for? You need to keep it very concise when you are writing it. There should be completeness in your sentences. So what happens is when we write answers during our law schools, or when we try to write something which we are trying to provide it as an assignment. So what we do is we try to get it done with, and we do not focus on the seven C's of communication, right? Anybody knows what are seven C for communication by any chance? English honors. Okay, so basically the seven C's. Yes, Akshara, you have raised your hand.
Sir, I'm clear. I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, good evening, sir. So the seven C's of communication were conciseness, clarity, correctness, concreteness, coherence, complete, or courtesy.
Uh, so we'll try to evaluate these. Okay, firstly, Akshara, you are correct, right? And now we'll try to correlate this with a legal point of view, right? For example, you need to be very okay. So you need to articulate your thoughts in a very clarified manner. You need to understand that whatever you are writing should be direct enough to help the reader understand that what you are willing to write. It should be concise. Overuse of phrases like in order to understand or in conclusion of what has been said above, right? We have all seen these Instagram reels where they try to tell you how to increase the length of your answer, but in the communication and in the writing that we do in legal, that is just the opposite, right? Then concreteness, everything that you need to write should be backed by authentic data. Now, when it comes to categorizing data and research, right, I can take a very separate session along that line, but I'll give you a short gist. So there are two types of data. Firstly, it is authentic and then it is unauthentic, right? Authentic data, abhi understand this key when you go over to search for something, right? Let's suppose you go to search for uh, let's say stray dog cases. Okay? So what you would do is any person would just sit and do a Google search, right? Now this Google search would give you opinions. It would show you Reddit post. It would show you Quora threads for discussion. It would show you Facebook post. Some famous influencers, some famous celebrity who has posted about this, although they refrain, but anybody who has posted and has gone into the search engine optimization of Google would be visible on the very first page of Google, right? Now suppose there is a person named Y and he has posted something without any legal backing, without any structure. He has just said ki whatever Supreme Court has ruled out on this case, I stand against it, and now it is available over the internet on the first page of Google itself. So do you think that is the research you have done concrete? Which is what usually law students do. They go over to Google, that is their first stop, right? They try to search for the topic, then they visit websites like Legal Service India. Then there is, one was very common during my time as well. Bar and bench is there, which is authentic, right? And then you also get a lot of websites related to, you know, law firms that are trying to solicit their practice but are doing it in an undignified way by posting blogs about it. For example, marriage in India, you will find five NGO websites, five law firms. Then there would be individual authors who are usually students who are doing it for publication purposes. इस तरीके के blogs and websites तुमको वहाँ पे मिलेंगे, right? Now the purpose being, have you actually done research? क्योंकि research gets categorized into primary research and secondary research, right? So primary research is something which you are doing on your own, whereas secondary research is something where you are relying on already researched topic, trying to analyze what has been researched, and you are trying to opinionate that research and then putting it into words, and that builds the concreteness, right? So first step is leverage AI. Okay. So leveraging AI, अभी AI को कितना यूज करना है, that is a different story. ठीक है, 100% AI reports भी आते हैं. So average AI use for, let's say, 2000 word का article should be around 80 words, right? That is the maximum you could use. For example, you need to complete a statement, you need to restructure a statement, कोई statement का flow आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा है, that is the only points where you are supposed to use AI firstly. But AI in research is something that you could always use, right? For example, you could go to Gemini, or you could
Yeah,
go
for the
to,
deep research.
yes. So basically what you could do is you could go there, you would explain the context, you can explain what are the results you are expecting, you can also at the same time explain what websites you want them to refer to, like give them 3 or 4 reference websites. And once that is done, you can search and serve the websites it has provided you as results, and that is going to be the correctness of the 7C, or the correct way to actually do some research. Then consideration. So suppose Mr. Piyush Anand wrote something, right? And then I went over to the internet and just copied everything that Piyush has written, and did not even mention that this has been researched by Piyush, or these are the honest contributions of Piyush into the legal purview. And how would Piyush feel? That is the whole question, right? Piyush, would you like to answer?
Yeah, I would feel like that my work has been stolen for first.
Okay. So
And
that is plagiarism, right?
yeah,
And
plagiarism.
okay. So this is where I would like to just touch upon the concept of plagiarism. So basically, plagiarism is a concept where you copy somebody's data and you are not considerate enough to give them citation or a quotation, right? So basically, what happens is when you are writing a manuscript, you are expected to cite where this data is from. Firstly, it helps you increase the authenticity of your manuscript, right? That all the data has not been generated by AI or not taken from websites which are not authentic, firstly. And secondly, at the same time, what it does is it also provides a sense of gratitude towards the writer from which you are referring to. So basically, this is consideration I would have towards the writer of the manuscript I am referring to. And this would help me in also reducing the amount of plagiarism that my file contains. Because Turnitin, what does it do? Turnitin checks your file over the pre-existing database, and उसको कुछ भी मैच मिलता है and उसका citation नहीं होता है, तो वो flag होके आ जाता है वापस, right? Moving on to completeness. So, for example, when you talk about completeness of a manuscript, then there is obviously hierarch method, ठीक है, which stands for issue research, issue rule application and conclusion. And then there is FILAC as well. FILAC is a little lean towards case studies, which stands for facts, issues, legal arguments, analysis and conclusion, right? So following a structured flow for your manuscript would help you attain completeness. And then again, there is courtesy. Courtesy वैसे we usually show it in main projects or research projects that we do in the final years of college, where we mention that this project was given to me by this faculty and I'm very obliged to have friends who have contributed to this research and things like that. Usually copy paste करते हैं, so nobody actually knows what the main content of that page is, right? So this is about the structuring, right? Now we'll talk about the purpose of publishing, right? So let's say there is a interview going on. Okay? Now delving into the legal field is going to be very difficult, right? Understand this. Now, if you think that having a CV with 5 internships is going to help you, I highly doubt that this is going to be the case. So what is going to happen now is that you need to develop that extra skill set throughout your law school, whether 3 year course or 5 year course, that depends, right? And once you are done with it, right, what you need to understand is that you need to work on knowledge sharing models, you need to be credible, you need to be a thoughtful leader in your field. And this, all this would help you network with people. For example, let's say there is, I'll take a different name this time. Okay, let's say there is Ashwini Rana. Okay, now Ashwini here wants to connect with people from Delhi, right? Keeping aside what is happening currently in the legal scenario, now she wants to do a independent research on, let's say, the colonial rule ending of a era, and she wants to research on what could have been included in the new legislations that have been brought by, although not new, 2 years old now, right? So this would show that she is interested in knowledge sharing. She wants to develop her credibility. She's a thoughtful leader and she also wants to network. So for now, networking, what she could do is she could reach out via LinkedIn, start using LinkedIn. That is going to be the next place where you would be getting opportunities, right? Apart from that, it is really very difficult to navigate the path in the legal industry right now, because every person has cousins, bhanjis, bhanjas, they want to get placed first, and then comes you as a apt candidate, right? So it is very important to network with people. Networking does not mean that you go over to LinkedIn and you just send a message, hey, I went through your work and it was very great. Right? That is not what networking is. Networking becomes successful when you try to provide value to a person free of cost, right? And that is done on a one-to-one basis. So nobody expects you to do a unpaid internship, right? But what we expect you to do as law professionals is connect with people, try to provide them value, try to get on sessions with them where you could grow together your legal competency. For example, usually people in Delhi have a very keen interest in drafting, right? Whereas people in Mumbai have a very keen interest in doing corporate finance. Corporate finance and then general corporate as a field is more pursued in Mumbai, right? Because firms के ऑफिस या तो दिल्ली में या तो मुंबई में and then थोड़े बहुत पुणे and Bangalore में, right? Again, Bangalore have its own superiority when it comes to firms like Adani, Wipro, hiring for legal counsels from Bangalore local colleges, right? That is a complete story after all. So, network with people, you can do a draft together, you can develop a theory about how to approach any single draft that is out there. Well, obviously, these are research areas that have been researched upon, but can continue for the next 25 years, even at the same pace, right? Then, also at the same time, you need to network with professionals. Network with professionals as to not like I am looking for an internship. Please give me the internship. Right? That is not pro bono, neither it is quid pro quo, right? Because that person is going to mentor you and he would expect a serious and a diligent intern. Why don't you just suppose he is not in your city? Okay, taking the adverse conditions only. He is in your city, you can go to him. Very simple. He is not in your city, right? So what you could do is you could start by reaching out on LinkedIn firstly, and then you could ask him for a draft that he is working on. Like, firstly, hone your skills. You cannot expect this to work the very first time you do it. Right? Obvious rejections would be there because not everybody is free, not everybody is considerate, and not everybody is willing to like give that amount of energy to somebody else, right? But again, suppose you crack a conversation and you start networking with professionals as well. You have done it with your peers, you have created a good network, you know at least five people from all different cities of India, and that is where you feel okay, now this is done, now I should switch to professional networking. Now you reach out to a lawyer, ask him if he is available for a quick 20-minute call on Sunday, right? Wherein you can discuss, okay, I am willing to learn this draft, this is your area of expertise. LinkedIn पे सब लिखा होता है, ठीक है? LinkedIn पे नहीं लिखा होगा, वेबसाइट पे लिखा होगा, right? Everything is written everywhere. So you need to understand that okay, this is the general area of practice he follows. ये ड्राफ्ट इसमें आते हैं, इसमें से मेरे को ये आता है, इसको मैं रिव्यू करा सकता हूँ, एंड ये सब मेरे को नहीं आता है, ये मैं सीख सकता हूँ, राइट? So you message, okay, this is a draft I have done. I have done it independently and I am not sure whether it is apt enough for the jurisdiction of Delhi or not. Taking a case of Delhi, right? So whether it is apt for jurisdiction of Delhi or not. If it is, please let me know. And if it is not, if are you available for a quick 20-minute call to explain me where I went wrong, right? Do it to 10 people. I would not say all 10 would reply. I would say 8 would not reply, but 2 would reply and they would be willing to become your mentors. Then you do it within the next week and then you reach out again with a different set of problem, right? Don't bug them every single day, but do it at a consistency so that the mentor sees, okay, this person has been reaching out to me for quite a few time now. Now, getting back again to the topic, academic publishing versus legal industry publishing, right? These are very two separate domains. So we as legal professionals are more interested in journals, specifically ISSN journals with a DOI, right? And we also try to trace back to international journals. For example, my recent work that is going to get published is with a shipping industry professional at Swansea University, UK, right? So he has also done some great research. He has 5, 6 books he has written about shipping industry and what the shipping law should be and how it should be dealt with in general. Right. Whereas academic publishing, usually people are more entailed and engrossed in doing their assignments firstly, right? And once they are thorough with their assignments, they try not to engage in academic publishing until and unless it is mandated. For example, as the internship is mandated, right? So until and unless it is there, usually people do not try to get into publishing factor, right? But suppose there is somebody who is interested in publishing. So here is what you could start with. If anybody wants to pen it down, you can pen it down. It is like a 7, 8 step process. I'll give you a minute. Okay, Piyush, can we start? Okay. So somebody who is interested in publishing, I'll start from first year itself, right? How many of you are in your first year, either 3 or 5 year law course? You can just raise your hands, right? Okay. Saraf, you are in your first year. Noman. Okay. So you are just starting out, so you would have ample of time to do it. Okay, Zonera, you as well. You would have ample of time to actually iterate this whole list I'm trying to tell you. And also at the same time, the entropy that is available is that people who are in the second and third year do not have that kind of energy and time to leverage that you might have in the starting, right? So starting with the list. So firstly, you need to understand that blogs are not something we write. Firstly, we are not here to get, our blogs published. So basically blogs versus articles कर लेते हैं. So blogs क्या होते हैं? Blogs are SEO friendly. Firstly, they are piece of manuscript that are usually opinionated and are written to engage and entertain the audience, right? A concept driven from the Western worlds and the Western countries, plus a hint of European texture of diary noting, right? So basically, what they try to do is Europeans. I'll tell you, क्या होता है. For example, we have a set day schedule. हमारा 6-7 बजे दिन होता है, and the daylight remains till 6-7, right? Whereas what happens is for major time of the year, Europe gets its sunset by 4, ठीक है, by 4-4:30 max, which means कि they have longer duration of nights. So that is where they develop and inculcate this activity of diary noting and making, dear diaries and everything. Whereas coming to, Indian context, blogs are something which a law student is not expected to write because authenticity factor is completely missing, right? Whereas articles, they are a little more formal piece of manuscripts. They are well structured, they have authenticity associated with them, and also at the same time everything that has been written is backed either by data sources or is cited as a work coming under secondary form of research. Each is clear. Anything that you need me to break it down, because this is the first step
Yes.
or the first tip. Tip 1, you can label it as tip 1, right? Do not write blogs, write articles. Okay, Piyush, you are clear, we can move forward.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the second thing that you need to understand is academic publishing वाला जो का पार्ट हम लोग कर रहे थे, right? Academic publishing versus professional publishing. Professional publishing has a lot of depth to it. So professional publishing basically जितने भी तुम्हारे इंटरनेशनल जर्नल्स हो गए, हार्वर्ड लॉ रिव्यू हो गया, आईवी लीग पब्लिशिंग हो गया, right? These do not try to chase these international publishings until and unless you are a working professional. Okay. Suppose you are a working professional, then you should attend these conferences, you should attend these, call for chapters and call for papers, which is associated with a conference, right? Not the one which is in solo. Call for chapters, बहुत सारे organizations के आते हैं. We are also coming up with a book with Collective Counsel on it, right? So that is in like discussion. We'll get back to you on that soon. But understand this key when it comes when it comes to you know professional publishing, you get, okay, this is a conference happening at NLU Odisha. I should attend this conference. That is something which is not meant for you in specifically first 3 years of law school. Because you also need to gain academic clarity over the subjects. That is the primary objective. And that is why the course is of 5 years. Right? Usually people pursue it for 5 years. Then there is way of doing it for 3 years as well. Right? So academic clarity over publishing, right? You do not need to have a bundle of publishings that you have done in your CV, because at most you would be able to represent just five. So understand, in the duration of 5 years, there was Zunair Hanuman, right? So over the duration of 5 years, you just need to write five good manuscripts, articles, research papers, review papers, book commentaries. That is your call, right? These are different form of manuscripts, but you just need to work on five and get it published at the best of the places. So we'll come to what are best places where you could publish at, but I'll tell you and try to focus on role of publishing and career growth, right? So
So,
when it comes to yes,
sir, I would like to ask one thing. Like you said, there are several types of manuscripts, like article, book commentaries. So,
right.
which one is should be like more favorable for like second year students?
So, Piyush, this is based on your opinion. Okay. Suppose you are reviewing a case, then obviously you are going to write a case commentary, right? Now, case commentary is not just one single bullet in the gun. There are other things. There is case analysis, there is case reviews, there is also, you know, case briefings that you could work on, and then there is case commentary. So if you are talking about case, then it gets dissected into four different parts, right? You could write a case analysis, right? It has a different format, it has a different structure. Then if you are interested in case briefing, you can write a different, like it has a different format all over again, and then it has a different purpose as well, right? For example, case analysis is where you analyze a case, whereas case briefing, which is usually done to report to your immediate seniors, right? It is not meant for publishing. Then case commentary is where you just try to state the meager facts of a case and you try to sum it up. There is no conclusion, there is no author's contention. Okay, case commentary, simple. You're commenting on a case. And then there is also something called as commentary analysis briefing. Some okay, I'm missing one of the part, right? So basically there are four factors when you write a case, right? You could refer to, right? You can connect with me over LinkedIn, I'll share you. So case review. Okay, yes, Saraf. So case review is something where you try to review a case. Ab how is it different from a case analysis? Case analysis is usually analysis वाला part बात करते हैं. Analysis में usually there is just obiter dicta and ratio decidendi where you are trying to analyze what was the notion of the court and what was the notion of the judge. Whereas case review is a bundle of cases that you would review, and then you will come out with a specific alignment towards whether you are accepting these cases in a row or you're not accepting these cases in a row. Okay, understood? Okay. Moving forward, we are also not in, okay, specifically me, I'm also not in favor of website publication. Okay, that is again my specific outlook on this. And let's say there is a there is a shop owner, a grocery shop owner. Okay, now what he allows you to do is he takes, let's say, 100 rupees and he allows you to put up a stall outside his shop. Okay, usually happens, देखा होगा, right? कि there is a shop owner जिसका porch is usually vacant and he allows a temporary shop owner to set up a stall there. So do you think the stall owner is the owner of the shop just because he is the first person you would interact to while entering the shop compound. Also, at the same time, he is the person with maximum visibility because he is sitting in front of that shop. Do you think that stall owner is the shop owner? No.
No.
Similar is the case. When it comes to website publication, they might write that this article has been written by, let's say, Mr. X from college Y, and all the efforts have been taken to maintain the plagiarism, and it has gone through a Turnitin check. वो Turnitin report भी attach कर दे, ठीक है, does not matter. Do you think इसी situation को ऐसे analyze करो, do you think that would you be available in you know okay, I'll structure it better. Do you think that you are the rightful owner of the content that has been published over the website?
No, not really. It would be the person who runs the website.
Okay. And how many of you here have done website publications?
Sir, are we talking about LinkedIn or Medium kind of thing over here?
No, anything like not LinkedIn. See, where you enroll as a user and you publish something, that is different. But when you go to a particular website and tell them to publish something for you, usually they charge, but that is like a corrupt practice. I'm not commenting about, right? But
Right.
I'm trying to come.
Sir,
Yeah.
what about that SSRN publications?
So that I'll come to it. Okay. So when I'll discuss what are the correct places you can publish, then I'll discuss this. Right. But understand this, that you do not own the website, firstly, which means you have no copyright over the content that has been published. Although you may sign a waiver form and waive off your responsibility of your content. But what if you write something which is just a second. So what if you write a content? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what if you write a content which is, someday criticized by Supreme Court of India? Maybe that website grew and reach out to Supreme Court judges and they are criticizing. So would you be at criticism or would the website owner be at criticism?
It's a website owner.
That is the case now. Since you have not signed a waiver form, you are responsible 100% for the content that has been published there. You are 100% responsible, but when it comes to leveraging the content that has been published or enjoying the authenticity factor or enjoying the additional benefits you might get for publishing something, right, you will not be able to enjoy it because same example, stall owner is not the shop owner, right? Shop owner has certain rights that he might exercise whenever required. For example, if he is not willing to pay for the website may go down, your publication gone then and there, right? Similarly, if there is, let's suppose, he feels that okay, this article is good, I should just take it down, and how long would you keep checking the website? Suppose I might have written something in my first year, got it published, right? Because I have also faced rejections, I have also seen failures, and then I have reiterated, okay, this is something which need not to be done. And that is why there are independent theories I am working on, right? So suppose मैंने first year में कुछ publish किया होगा, do you think I would have gone back to that website and checked whether it is there or not? Right?
I think so.
That is also the case. So you need to understand that website publications are for blogs, right, and not for legal articles. Moving forward, the next thing that we are going to discuss is types of legal publication. There is a lot of nuances related to this terminology as well. There is research paper, there is law paper, there is review paper, case commentary के लिए अभी चार discuss किए थे, right? And there is a lot of things that people are confused about, whether I am writing a research paper, whether I'm writing an article, and then article is again subjugated into a lot of different things. right? There is short articles, long articles, and then there is very long articles more than 6,000 words. And then dissertation भी इसी में include कर लेते हैं, thesis भी इसी में include कर लेते हैं. What is the primary mode of difference, right? So do you think BNS and BNSS are same or
Mhm.
different? As a legislation, Piyush, my question
Yeah.
is, do you think BNS and BNSS are same or different by the face value of
For
it? क्योंकि दोनों में BNS आ रहा है starting में.
for legislator, they are
For legislation, yes.
they serve different purposes, but they both are law. Uh,
No, no. By the face value of it means BNS consists of characters B, N, and S. ठीक है? Whereas BNSS consists of characters B, N, S, and S. ठीक है? So, do you think that they are the same things but with additional S? So, my point being, by the face value of it, all of these might look similar to you. कि, okay, this is a law review paper. This is a Okay. This is a law review paper, this is a short article, this is a long article, this is a case commentary, this is a case analysis. Face value पे हर चीज एक manuscript है, right? But they serve a different purpose. For example, when you are writing case commentary, you just comment. There is no analysis. तो उसमें 5 lakh method आप use नहीं कर सकते, right? It is just mere reporting. Whereas if you are doing a case analysis, you use 5 lakh method, right? And when you are doing a case review, then you need to follow a different set of pattern where you follow chronology. Then you also need to follow the hierarchy of the courts, right? So that is there. So why do you think that there are so many types of legal publication? Basic question. There could have been just one or two dignified ways, right?
because they publish different types of things.
Okay. Give me something very law oriented. This is a layman's answer. Like this question is open for all. I am not just interacting with Piyush here. Unnati, Udita, Swasti, Sneha. Anybody who is available would answer this.
So, if
No
I may
worries.
answer.
Yes, 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 you may.
So the thing is, I think there are so many type of journals. Like some are addressing economic issues, some are addressing disaster management, some are addressing insurance law.
Hmm.
So they have different types of researcher academic peers network. So they are addressed in different circles. So I think that's why maybe.
Okay. So you are correct. What you have said is entirely correct. I agree with what you are saying. So the purpose of this being that you might be, you know, engaging with a different set of audience every day, right? Suppose you are reaching out to law professionals, you need to talk in a language they are comfortable in, right? But if you are reaching out to peers, you should keep the tone of the manuscript toned down enough so that any of the layman is able to understand what you are trying to explain, correct? So if a manuscript serves different purpose, it is obviously for granted that there would be different set of manuscripts, right? Because एक ही manuscript हर चीज नहीं कर सकती, right?
Yes.
So that being the case, there are different type of legal publications. And when it comes to platforms for publishing, right? So only publish on platforms which are authentic, give you a DOI. DOI is something, digital object identifier, so that if you publish it over the internet, you can search for the DOI and it would redirect you to the correct website, right? Then you can reach out to academic and non-academic journals. Non-academic journals, for example, if there is a journal associated with a NGO, right, that is conducting its independent research, right, that would come under the purview of non-academic. And as far as international publications are concerned, international publications might sound very intriguing when it comes to comes to a law student, but international publications are something which need to be dealt in like later year of law school, like fourth year, fifth year. You really have built that connection and build that repo around your publications, and now you want to take it take it one step ahead, right? That is where you reach out to Oxford Law Review, Columbia Law Review, Ivy League, Harvard Law Review, right? And that is when you get it published. So before that, do not try to aim for it. पूरा conceptual clarity खराब हो जाएगा. There would be no completeness in your manuscript. Stick to Indian authors, stick to Indian subjurisdiction when it comes to writing manuscripts as of now. And then we can have a subsequent session. I would request Collective Counsel, right, to have subsequent sessions as to where to reach out from, what to reach out, and then we can identify the platforms, right? Because I really understood कि platforms ऐसे बताना would be really difficult without giving you a proper context. So coming to the process, so obviously everything starts with the idea. So once you have an idea, a strong idea, you think that this is the lacuna you are looking for, this is the pitfall you are looking for, or this is the VUCA factor that you find might create something that will affect the future predictability of outcome. Or let's say, uh, you know, you know what VUCA factor is by any chance? Or I have just said it and you don't know.
Voca factor.
VUCA, WUCA. So basically, it is like an acronym that stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, right? So VUCA factor से काफी चीजें cover हो जाती है, even in the finance world, in the corporate finance, even in the field of law, right? VUCA factor, ambiguity as to what would happen with stray dogs, right? So that is one of the term that is used to describe the nature of certain situations, right? Most aptly in businesses, but sometimes also in law, right? So if you are considerate about all these things, right, you need to understand that this is a problem, this is a story I want to write, or this is the story means a manuscript and not a lullaby. Okay? So this is what I want you to write. I want to write, and this is the flow of the article that is going to be there, right? Okay. There is a question by Jasdeep. Sir, article writing brings creativity of a person on a particular topic in which a person is writing an article. So, writing an article brings creativity of a person, yes, but in legal purview, you do not have a lot of option available. You need to stick to the basics and you need to have data backing for everything that you're writing. I cannot go ahead and say that I am the Prime Minister of China. Or not the Prime Minister, the President of China, right? There is no legal backing about it, right? I do not have supported documents to prove that what I am saying is true. So you
Cite.
need to have, yes,
So citations are important.
correct. I'll come to that, right? So once you have identified a problem, you need to conduct research. You need to figure out the primary and the secondary sources. अभी primary source and secondary source क्या होते हैं? I'll get back with collective counsel. I would sincerely request, because इस चीज को clarify करने में you need good 1.5 hours, right? Then you need to structure the draft, obviously. सबसे important सबसे important thing about, okay, okay, सबसे important thing that you need to be aware about is that when it comes to peer review and revision, यहाँ पे is the time where you will utilize your networking and your peer skills the most. For example, you can reach out to people from good colleges, preferably I would say non-NLUs. Okay, again, opinionated, right? But you can reach out to them. You can ask, what, how would you rate it? Turnitin पे इतना score आ रहा है, because Turnitin reports are now more accessible than ever, right? We also provide Turnitin reports, but at the same time, it would help you connect with the peer. You would understand what a person sitting in Bangalore is thinking of when it comes to this topic. Okay. So peer review and revision is important. Then comes the submission process. Navigating the editorial guidelines is very important before submitting any process, right? Formatting is, so basically manuscripts are submitted with the ill formatting. Plagiarism content high hota hai, there is content generated by AI. There is also a lot of problems related to the structuring. There is no introduction, keywords are missing, citations are missing, right? So these all are considered ill formattings, which should be taken care pre-submission, right? Yes. Oh, okay. Piyush Anand says, I am a second year student of 3-year course, so I can reach out with my article to Harvard Law Review and Oxford Law Journal. I have already published 3 articles on SSRN. So SSRN is just one publication house, Piyush. You could try reaching out to Harvard via conference. Usually they do this HPAI year. For this year it has been done. It would be for this year means for the year 2024-25 it has been done. For 25-26 applications would be opening soon. So you can try reaching out, like try keeping a track of the website. Ivy League का भी conference होने वाला है. Usually happens between November to January, right? So you can reach out to them, and if you feel that your research is well extensive to that point, then you are really welcome to reach out to these prestigious law journals and get it published there.
So, with your kind, good evening to everyone.
Good evening,
Sh-
Jasdeep.
should I share my experience writing regarding writing?
Yes, you may, please.
So, during my college days, I have written a essay on our President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and the article in which and I should share it. I have the same, and it increases my confidence to write something which I want to write. I have written and I have preserved the same, and this is my motivation. This is the way. From that way, from that time, I used to write uh, articles on my in my public in my own notebooks.
Okay. Jasdeep,
Thank you.
your voice was getting like a little cracked, but I understood that you have written and you have preserved it, and that gives you confidence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is obviously first step is introspection for anything you do. You undertook law, you introspected, okay, I would be able to pursue a law degree. I did it. I introspected, I would be able to pursue financial management. I obviously had that confidence and I went and appeared for my CAT and I joined LBS, right? So obviously that is obviously going to be there. So that is where the confidence booms out from, and everybody should follow this practice. Now, moving towards the end of this session, I have tried to, focus on a lot of things. Firstly, that how you should reach out to peers, right? because that is important. That is something nobody deals in exception, right? People don't tell you how to use LinkedIn as a platform, firstly. Secondly, how to reach out to professionals, how to reach out to academicians and research scholars to collaborate with them on their research, to do their extra work and learn from a research scholar having 50 years, not 50, but 15 years of experience, 20 years of experience, right? So research scholars are always open to taking students under their wings because they are very intrigued by the very thought that there is somebody young who is interested in research, right? They find it very prestigious, right? So now with the, there is also this rise of newsletters, podcast and multimedia formats. Everybody is now, reporting has been turned completely MP3. There are Instagram pages that do the same. There are podcasts, but that again is not securing the ambit of legal publishing. So you need to be very considerate about where you reach out to with your manuscript, because a good manuscript would easily take 2-3 months. As a student, you would not get more than 40-50 minutes a day. If it is not a compulsion, you would not also work daily on that file, right? So it would easily take 2 to 3 months to get, uh, you know, jot down 5,000 words, I suppose. As per my rate of writing, I'm telling you, that is the amount of time it takes, right? Also, AI's role in legal research is increasing at a very faster pace, right? But it should be related to doing deep research, finding links, and doing all that manual job of opening websites and checking whether this is correct or not, but not related to generating content which you will later on use in your manuscript. That is where the ethical conundrum rises. Okay. Then collaborating with peers, mentors, co-authors, and research scholars is the final take, right? So this is all from my side. If you have any questions, you will let me know. I would be more than happy to answer them for you. So Vivek, if you want to work on your communication skills, firstly, communication is not the way you speak, but how well are you structured when you're trying to complete a statement. Suppose I want to make sure that, uh, you know, I want to praise the print of Piyush ka t-shirt, right? So I need to structure it. Participating in moot courts is obviously academic point of view. So I never answer this question because it is an interpersonal skill, right? I usually I participated in 8 moot court competitions, I remember, right? And out of those 8, I was never adjudged the best speaker. I was the best researcher once, but never the best speaker. But I personally believe that my communication skills are good enough to engage an audience, right? I have had this feedback for quite a long time now. But again, I don't know, when it comes to explaining the arguments, I perform decent but never been adjudged. In litigation, I'm doing fine, right? So communication is a very interpersonal skill. You need to assess whether you have that conceptual clarity or not, whether you have that volume when you are trying to speak. The major problem is you think you are speaking loud enough, but the person sitting in front of you is not able to actually, have that uh, pitch of yours. उसको receive ही नहीं हो रहा है. If he is not able to receive, how would he just give back what you have asked for, right? So that is there. And then also you could try, reading something aloud. Basically, just keep reading and keep reading it loud in the mirror. That would improve the pitch, your tonality, your confidence, and you would start feeling confident about speaking. Any other questions?
Sir,
Okay,
you said
Ashwini also.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Just a second, Satish. Okay, Ashwini also have suggested something. One can read and try to speak to oneself. Yeah, something I said. Secondly, one can improve through diary writing. And thirdly, through introspection. Correct. Yes. Satish.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Sir, my doubt is or question is regarding sources, but either primary or secondary sources. Sir, for popular cases like we easily know, we are already knowing that what is the ratio or decision of that case. But in case when we are doing research for any purpose, so how we can decipher what is the ratio of this case? Like as a student, if every time we may not getting the help from the faculty, so in that case, how we can decipher the ratio decision? And secondly, sir, with regard to primary sources, you were saying that I will brief little more on that. So if you could elaborate
Okay.
more, thank you.
So, how many Supreme Court reporters are there in India, Satish? वैसे तो बहुत सारे हैं, name top three Supreme Court reporters.
Sir, All India reporters, SSC, and I think Manu Patra also they do, but and
Manu Patra, Live Law, SLR.
yeah.
ठीक है. Go to the website, right? So when they transcribe the case, right? So they write everything that is being said between the court, right? उस ट्रांसक्रिप्शन के बीच में मिलेगा. अगेन दिस इज अ मोनोटोनस टास्क. आस्क एआई टू डू इट. डाउनलोड करो डॉक्यूमेंट को, एआई पे डालो एंड टेल मी व्हाट इज द रेशियो डिसडेंडी एंड हाईलाइट द स्पेसिफिक पोर्शंस फॉर मी जहाँ पे ये बात हो रही है. Whether the judge was negative about this argument, positive about this argument. Similarly, there is one more unauthentic website, मतलब considered unauthentic because it is an open forum, Indian कानून, right? Indian कानून पे आप जब जाओगे, you search for a case law, there appears a dialog box on the top now. Accepted by the court, negated by the court, negatively viewed by the court, ठीक है? Realized by the
Customer.
respondent. इंडियन कानून, ठीक है. यू गो टू इंडियन कानून वेबसाइट, वहाँ पे भी यू विल फाइंड द सेम थिंग दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू. दे हैव ऑलरेडी इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इट इनटू देयर वेबसाइट. बट अगेन वहाँ से पढ़ के फिर उसका बैक रेफरेंस तुमको लाइव लॉ या एससीसी से लेना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज यू कैन नॉट साइट इंडियन कानून because it is a open forum and open forums in the purview of law are considered unauthentic. Okay. Yes, Piyush, you had a question.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I wanted to ask, you told me that keep tabs on Harvard Law Review and Oxford Law Review, like their dates have gone for like 24, 25. So like
They
those
open in November. You can just keep a bookmark of the tab and they open in November. It is a fixed date. I don't know the date. That is why I did not tell.
okay, so they both open in November, or like most of them they just open in November,
Just
like
think of this.
Oxford.
देखो हमारा मौसम कब अच्छा होता है? अक्टूबर में, right? So major
October.
conferences happen in October. But
Yes.
उनका मौसम कब अच्छा होता है? Right? After the fall. Right? That is why after November.
Oh, okay, sir.
It should
So
be it should be physically also feasible for them to host a conference, right?
yeah. So, sir, if I have to like keep tabs on it, so I'll just visit the website and they
Just
see that.
bookmark the website. हर हफ्ते खोल के देख लेना एक बार संडे को.
Okay, sir.
Right? Simple.
So, do I need some like I have to keep my article ready and all like
No,
what
no.
I've been
It
published?
it would be a full-fledged conference. You need to attend the conference. Then the
Okay.
topics that have been taken there, then you need to rewrite. It
Okay.
is a 6 month process. आराम से time मिलता है. जल्दी नहीं है.
Okay.
So you do it in you start in November and you would end it by the like एक दो हफ्ते और मान लो तो by end of July. So it is like
Okay.
good 8 months.
So I have to attend conferences and then work on that paper and submit accordingly. Like that will take around July.
Yeah, 8 months at least.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay. Saraf here is asking that which point of study can I reach out to research scholars today? You can reach out to research scholars after this session. And I want to learn, I want to contribute, write anything, write honestly whatever you are looking for and reach out. Send it to 5 people. I believe not all five would respond, at least one would respond. Any other questions? Okay. But I have no skills to mention or credibility yet. So I understand that you are a student, right? The research scholar would also keep this into consideration that you are a student. Not everybody was born with credibility, right? You need to attain it. It is a acquired skill. Okay. Shefali here asks, when writing an article, should we focus on descriptive content with analysis and support from various sources, or try to add opinions, highlight lacuna and problem? So, Shefali, when you are talking about writing an article, it is, I'll repeat the definition. It is a well structured formal piece of manuscript, not written to entertain but to inform the audience, and each data source needs to be identified and cited either as footnote or as endnote. Okay? So opinions ऐड करने वाली बात तो आती नहीं. Articles cannot be opinionated. That is the first no-go for article. Any other questions? In plagiarism, we both even own analysis come plagiarized. So might be you are using AI to structure your analysis. That might be one of the reason, right? Because understand this, artificial intelligence is not having a mind of its own right now, right? It has a certain set of codes, एक certain set of vocabulary है जो आगे पीछे करके it gives you the response, right? So you need to understand that using AI to research might be good, but generating content from AI and using it in a manuscript is never going to be good. Okay. Any other questions? So I guess this is it. Uh, okay, over to the team.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Sneha for the thanking vote.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. I am Sneha Priya, a law student and a volunteer from the Event and Program Department of the Collective Council. It's an absolute honor to be part of today's session, and I am truly grateful for the opportunity to engage with such an accomplished professional and curious leaders and learners. On the behalf of the Collective Council, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you for being part of this insightful session. First and foremost, thanks I would like to express our deepest gratitude to our distinguished speakers, Shreeyanshu Tripathi sir, for giving us your precious time. He is a PGDM finance candidate at LVSIM as well as a founder of Legal Specs, a legal platform for law students. We are grateful to have a session with you, sir. Thanks a lot for today's session. A warm thank you as well to Mr. Abhijit Gajraj, a respectful dispute resolution lawyer practicing at the Honorable High Court of Gujarat. A thanks to our organizing team and the Collective Council. Thank you for your tireless efforts behind the scenes, from planning and communication to execution and coordination. Before we end, we kindly request all the attendees to fill out the feedback form. Your thoughts matters grateful to us. Certificate of participation will be provided to those who complete the feedback form. Thank you once again, sir. Each and everyone for joining today's session and making this event a memorable one. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insights.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was truly an amazing session. This, like, you have shared, like, a very, the insights were really great, and thank you so much for your constant support to the CC and for the today's session. We are really so grateful to have you on board with us. Really
Okay,
thankful
thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you, Tansha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
So I'm not
Tripti.
a
Thank
law
you.
student. I'm not a law
Yes,
student, but I'm a statistics professor currently, but I really enjoyed the session and I'm looking
thank
forward
you.
for such more sessions.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.